Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is our third and final coloring of the fish and house page. I color a little bit every day in this series I call the Daily Color, and I color 6 days a week or so. Sometimes I pop in a big edition, which I am running a poll right now on my YouTube channel, where you can choose one of 3 images from Romantic Country, The First Tale by Erie. And in the meantime, while waiting for that poll to finish up, we will continue on. So first I'm going to work on the bubbles. I have then at the bottom of the page 2 last bits of kelp, and then the house. I'm going to start with the bubbles using 4 different colors. My goal is to replicate a very soft or lightened version of the fish kind of iridescence by mixing these 4 colors: a pink, a green, a blue, and a purple. And I believe I have chosen the light of all 4. So we've got bottom to the top 41, lilac, cerulean blue 3, light sea green 75, and light rosy pink 86. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself positioned so I think you can see all of the bubbles. The trick here is the infamous regularly irregular, which is like one of my favorite phrases, and I'm going to be just touching down light pressure, a little bit of color of each of the 4 colors. What remains to be seen is if I am going to decide I want to lighten the black edges, or if I want to, so there I have a little bit of purple in every single one. I'm going to move to green. I do believe I will be putting an Aurora Borealis, or AB as I call it, stickles. And I have to decide which stickles I have. 5 different AB ones and a couple of aquatic, really soft bluish aquas, even a purpley color. And I am not sure which one I will choose. And then the other exciting embellishing I want to do is the roof line. These are like a 1, 2, 3 roofs, and those are going to be a metallic. I have chosen copper. I have a copper metallic jelly roll that actually is very pale, like a champagne looking color, and then I grabbed a chalk marker metallic that is from the Dollar Tree in a copper color that I really like. So we have now done purple and green. I see the need for green here. I actually finalized a purchase. I think I had a minor discussion with you guys just during my coloring. I tend to chatter. Actually, sometimes I chatter, other times I realize, oh, I'm being very quiet. And so there is a sale happening right now, and it is at Plaza Art, which is a place that I have found good prices for Holbein. They seem to be like ahead of the curve. I noticed last year that there was a sale price of $3.40, and Plaza Art had it first. At the time, they were running a special for $15 off your first order of 60 if you signed up for texting. So I took advantage of that, and I believe it ended up being $2.67 per pencil. And it is how I ended up, I did two orders. The second order was not through Plaza Art. I found a little bit better deal through Jackson's. Oh yeah, because the second time I couldn't get that same $15 off deal. That was long gone. And so I ended up buying from Jackson's, and it was the $3.40 a pencil and $1.40 shipping, no sales tax. So then I noticed the Plaza Art. I check pricing on Holbein's once or twice a week, because right now I am trying to decide, do I want to spend the money on a whole set? And I have made that decision that I am not buying the whole set. What I really want to do at a minimum is have, okay, so I've got the pink, I have got the purple, and then I'm gonna make sure I've got a little bit of blue on these little bubbles, and then we'll move on to the house color. So in the midst of deciding whether or not I really wanted the full set, I had a task I never completed, and that was comparing the Brutfuner macarons, which, as I have seen, they are a dupe of the Holbein pastels. So I printed out Sarah Renee Clark's color matching of the Holbeins to a bunch of different pencils, but not comparing to the Brutfuner. So I added my own set of squares, and I will share all this with you once my small order that I placed comes in. And I found that my Brutfuners, I own 2 sets of them, I think that those bubbles look good. I'm going to leave them just like they are because they're still going to get stickles put on the top. And they very faintly resemble the 4 tones from the fish, which is the blue, pink, teal, and purple. So let's set these aside. The color of the house, I'm going to make very neutral. I'm going with this gray blue, which is what I used as the shadow color on the fish in between all of the scales. And I am going to go ahead and do a soft, very light pressure to get this started. And it's only going to have 2 floors because the top floor has no color. It's just a wall of glass windows. So I finalized for my 50 total Holbeins. Sadly, I did discover every single macaron of the 50 set, not the 72, is a just about perfect match to all 50 of the Holbein pastels. What I discovered is I had purchased a few of the Holbein's pastels, and in hindsight, I wish I would not have, because then I would have 50 actual non-pastel colors plus the 50 pastels from the macarons that match with the 50 Holbeins that I could use the macarons with my Holbeins to give me basically 100. But alas, I discovered that too late. So I do have a few of the pastels, and that is just the way it's going to be. And I have ordered 15 more non-pastel colors, and I focused on greens. The green is my favorite color. I do have 5 different blends, and I did add a few extra colors, and then I focused on 3 different green tones, like a fur tone, kind of a blue-green tone, and then I already had olive, but I went ahead and added an olive green. I think I did buy olive green. And so that is all coming, and that will be a video that I create a little haul video for and explain all of this, showing you my research. And that will be sometime in September. I did also manage to, and I think it's still up, one of my favorite animal artists does free live draws. They tend to focus on the time of year, like January. I always do 1 or 2 between Christmas and January. And I did 2 this year. I did the robin and then the deer. And I had not at that time started yet with my coloring every day in Small Victories. And so she has 2 more live draws. One already happened, and I did it. And I am curious how I have changed in my process of coloring. Do my professional pencils feel any different? Is it easier? You know, now that I color a little bit every day, and, you know, I color in this same book. I'm just about halfway done now, so I've been coloring every day since March. And I did the tutorial. It was a live draw of a horse's bridle. And, you know, she's always very ambitious, and we end up never doing quite as much as we would hope, because she's explaining a lot of things, and it's just such a nice learning process. But I really enjoyed coloring. Now, I am a horse person. I ended up having a spine injury right after I sold the last horse. I was getting ready to go horse shopping. I've always bought young horses, and I do use trainers for the level of competition that I was doing, but I do a lot of the work myself. I like to buy young horses. I like to put the basics on them, and that kind of thing. But due to this injury, that was kind of the end of horses for me. So there were many years where I was sad and wasn't really feeling too keen on doing anything to do with horses. Even being at my mom's house down by the barn with her horses was tough. But I am definitely on the other side of that. I think it's been 10 years. And so I am now back to being pretty comfortable with the whole seeing horses, talking about horses, being around them. And in fact, when we were home, I ended up going through and scanned all of my horse photos so that I would have everything digitized, and I only kept larger images that were from, you know, when you're at a horse show and you win something big, you can go there's a backdrop, and then the photographer that's there taking professional photography will take a picture of you with whatever it is, your prize that you won, and your people, family, friends, trainer, all that stuff. So I have all sorts of those, as well as some prizes that I kept that I want to bring with me to Florida. In fact, they're all packed now. And I was not sad. I have overcome my sadness, and even ended up having dinner at a place that is a training stable, and my horse, 2 different horses were boarded there and were trained there. One horse I actually sold there. I have a picture of me taking her away to load up with her into her new owner's trailer. And that owner still has her. So I felt good about doing this headstall and really enjoyed it. And yes, I color so much now that I find it is a lot easier to perform the steps. Rather than being behind and having to rewind all the time, I felt like I kept pace with her really well. And at the end of the 2 hours, in fact, I caught a little bit ahead of the curve while she was talking and extended down further than she had gotten on her bridle. And the material that we color on is a material called pastel matte that was very intimidating for me. And this time I was not intimidated by it at all. All right, so we've got this gray blue. I'm keeping the house pretty neutral because the focus to me is on the beautiful fish. So I am now going to grab, I have decided that these are not windows, these are shutters, because these doors are shuttered. And so I am going to get purple out for the shutters. So I'm not sure if my end game with coloring includes selling any of my colored pencil art, either as prints or just matted and framed. Originals, I'm not sure I'm even going to go there. I have been asked if I can color people's animals, and to me, I want to color to relax and unwind and let my back rest. And I think if I got into the whole scene of taking commissions, that it would make coloring not be relaxing anymore. So I don't think I'm going that route. I could do some art and maybe do prints or cards or something. You know, I do make and sell cards at all of our events here. So I already do that. I am going to start, so I did just very light on the doors. And now I'm going to get some purple, starting with the lilac, which is the lightest color. So for me, coloring is a recovery process for me. Did find a whole bunch of my photographs of art pieces that I have done in the past. Most of the original art of mine has been given away to family and friends. I always have sold cards. I've always sold jewelry, which is funny that I made jewelry, and I made a lot. I don't wear jewelry. I just love to make it. I'm just a person that likes to make things and keep my hands busy. Okay, so that was the end of Lilac 41. I am going to look for the darker, those are the blues. Here is purple. So this is the middle color. Purple 65. So if you guys are coloring, you probably have figured out that pencils is a very slow medium, but I just really like it, and I do like realism, and just the process of slowly building up layers. I know some people don't have the patience for that, but I like clean. I think pencils are the cleanest medium over pastels or paints. So I have always liked. I am looking for my darkest purple now. It should be around here somewhere. Is this it? No, this is actually the darkest pink, but it actually is on the purple side. So I'm just going to use it. Yesterday I did some colorless blender, which I don't do a lot of, but I did not want to alter the color of the fish, but I did want to smooth out some of the areas. So I may take the blending. I used the Caran Dache Full Bright, which is my favorite. Okay. Now I am going to get brave. This is, I'm left-handed, so everything is upside down. This is the Crafter's Square metallic marker. It is in copper. And I am going to, so if we go back up here, I may change that ball. I might do that iridescent. And then we have, a couple of layers here. I am going to make this smooth roof a copper one. Now I am a little bit farther away than I normally would be for doing some pen work. I will try to be careful. I know with the pencils that if I have little gaps, a quick run through with the lightest color of my blend or a colorless blender, and in rare cases white, will clean it up. I think that's going to look cute. So back to this order that I finally placed that took me the whole month to figure it out. In order to meet the minimum to get my last 15 Holbeins that I have room in my case for, I had to spend another, I think $24 actually. And I decided on watercolor tubes. There were a whole bunch of different things. I could have done some really expensive dots. Dot cards is what they're called. But I thought, I actually just would like some basic metallic and basic iridescent, like white and blue. The only thing I have in my supplies for watercolor in the metallics is the very inexpensive quarter pans and half quarter pans, so very, very small amount, from Temu. and they work really well, but they're very minimal. So I spent $4.19 a tube and bought 6. I think 4 are metallic and a white and blue iridescent. So there's my copper roof. Now, what will be interesting, I'm going to start with my second roof, and this has lines. What I don't know is how opaque this pen is. I still see some of the black, so that's good. I didn't want it to be so opaque that it would take away from the roof pattern. So our roof on our house here is green, and it is a metal roof. And Hub's favorite color of metal roof is actually a metallic copper. And so that's why I thought I would do a copper roof. So this particular marker is $1.25. In fact, it's so old, it's probably, I probably purchased it back when the Dollar Tree still had everything for $1. But thanks to our economy not doing so well, everything has gone up. Not only has our Dollar Tree gone up to $1.25, they have like 2 rows now in the middle of the store that are like $3 and $5 items. So I'm working on smooth from very far away. I still think you can see all right, so there's the second roof. I'm going to move up now so you can see the third roof, which looks just like the second one, with the same lines. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're good. So I will have time to finish the last vegetation toward the bottom. And I think I'm going to do it in light teals. Almost there. what's interesting is I have not checked to see if this pen bleeds through. So let's go ahead It does not bleed through. That is very fortunate. So over here, I actually can see that hardly any of the black lines show. Oh, look at this. We can make the knobs copper. That's me. I believe the very top has the ball, and I do want to have it be looking like a bubble. Very soft. I'm gonna have to find the lilac. I see it. So I think the bubble up there is going to also be stickled. Okay, so this light teal, I'm gonna do light, middle, and we're moving down to the bottom to finish. All right, so these are the light, medium, and dark that were the fish teals, not the long kelp. So that's light to dark, 114, light aqua green, light sea green, 75, and aqua green, 134. This being the darkest color on these small leaves is the lightest color up here on these, which I actually see I was not perfect. I haven't smoothed it all out yet. So moving ahead to tomorrow, we have two ducks. The top duck is supposed to be Castle Arts pastel tints. However, the bottom duck is Crayola 100 plus the 24 skin tones. So I think I'm gonna move away from having the color palettes that aren't the full color palette, like the Harmonious, the pastel tints, metallics. I will be grouping those with a regular set. So now I'm going to move to the middle color, light sea green 75. So tomorrow's two ducks, which I'm going to guess will take 2 days, one per duck, are going to be combining the pastel with the Crayola. And I will figure out a better a better way to combine the pastels with the full sets, the regular color sets. I own 2 metallics and 2 pastels. I'm going to for sure group the Brute Funer macarons with the, here's the lightest color, light aqua green. I'm going to make the arbitrary decision to group the Holbeins with the Brute Funer macarons, giving me 100 total with the Holbeins once they get here. 15 more Holbeins. And I am so close to being done after, I don't know, years with swatching everything. That's the other commitment. Having or committing to doing this daily color has had me use sets that have not been swatched for my everyday swatches. So I am almost done. I have 1 more to do, and then when the 15 Holbeins get here, I will swatch those. And I will be done swatching. Hub cannot believe it. He used to give me the worst time about me not being a colorer and how slow I was. So I am just cleaning up. I think we have, what are we at? We have some more time, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tilt and I'm going to rotate my camera so it's easier for me to clean up. I even have an eraser because right here I got a little crazy with the green. My Mono Zero is floating around here as well. Right here yesterday I had this scratchiness and I rotated the pencil. It was the darkest teal, so that smoothed that out. I will take my Mono Zero. I see some little overlaps. All right, we are at 39 minutes. I keep bumping that, don't I? So, with the last little bit of time here, I am going to take my colorless blender and smooth out this blue-gray for the house color. And then I'm going to smooth out the purple. Again, these are shutters in my world. I see a teeny tiny bit of crumbs, and that is from the blender kind of scratching up a little bit of the pigment because I am using heavy pressure. There we go, so that's all smooth. I am very happy with our fish. I hope you guys enjoyed coloring along with me or watching. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are new here and have not seen my daily color, I do color, as I said at the beginning, 6 days a week. And I would love for you to consider subscribing. And if you have other colorist friends who would appreciate my daily color series, be sure to invite them to join us. I finally feel caught up. So that is it for today. Tomorrow we start over here. We will do a couple of ducks. I will talk about my relationship with ducks and how it is that I feel the way I feel about ducks. And again, we will be doing Crayola 100 plus 24, and then combining with the pastel tints. So do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and again, consider subscribing. And we will do this all again tomorrow. I hope to see you there.